Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Junior Francica, and in today's video we're going to discuss the differences between Nashville and Chattanooga. I know a lot of times people are considering moving to Tennessee and they're not sure where they want to end up, and Nashville and Chattanooga are always compared to each other, so that's what we're going to discuss in today's video. So the first thing we're going to discuss today, and I think it's one of the things that is most overlooked between the two cities, and it's actually that Chattanooga is Eastern time zone and Nashville is Central time zone. Now you wouldn't think it because it's in the same state and they're kind of close together, only about 2.5 hours drive or so, but Chattanooga sits on the very west side of the Eastern time zone and Nashville is obviously in the Central time zone. Now, why does this make a difference to you? Something that this will affect in the different time zones is that Chattanooga actually has more sunlight later in the day and Nashville has more sunlight earlier in the day. So if we take June 21st, which is the summer solstice, the sun in Chattanooga rises about 6:30 and sets about 9 p.m. Now, if we go to Nashville, it's a little bit different. The sun actually rises 5:30 a.m. and sets around 8 or 8:05 p.m. So if you're a morning person, you like more sun in the morning, Nashville might be a positive for you. But if you like more sun in the afternoon, like myself, Chattanooga will definitely be a positive for you. So that's really the main differences with the time zones. And obviously if you like sports or catching games and stuff like that, that's definitely gonna affect you when you watch the games in the afternoon. A big factor in where people move to is the housing prices, and there's a big difference between the Nashville area and the Chattanooga area. In Chattanooga, the median price point is $347,000. Now this is for Hamilton County, where Chattanooga is located. Of course, there's different areas around Chattanooga. I believe there's 5 counties total, including North Georgia, that the Realtors Association kind of deals with over here. But if we go to Nashville, the median price point is actually $445,000. And that's a difference of $100,000 in the difference in medium price points. Now, of course, it's just medium, so it's the middle. You have houses that are way more expensive and you have houses that are cheaper. In Nashville, there definitely is a lot more high-end houses. Not to say that there isn't in Chattanooga, but you will see places in different counties like Williamson County, where Franklin is located. There's a lot more million or million-plus-dollar houses, so that's something that you should take into account. But the prices are really different here in Chattanooga, around $350, $340, and in Nashville area around $440, $450. Now let's discuss a little bit of weather. Hey guys, by the way, I'm a real estate agent here in the Chattanooga, Tennessee area. If you guys are looking to move here, I would love to help you and to talk to you or answer any questions you have. Reach out to me on the number on your screen, shoot me a text or give me a call, find me on social media, hit me up with a message there. I would love to help you. So with that being said, back to today's video. Both places are not very far apart from each other, so the weather is very similar many times of the year. So if we start with spring typically has the same temperature in Nashville and Chattanooga, so not much difference there. As we go into the summer, the only real difference is that Chattanooga tends to be a little bit more muggy. I believe Chattanooga has about 84% humidity or mugginess in the summer, where Nashville has 80%. So it is a little bit more muggy. Rainfall in the summer and in the fall, Chattanooga maybe gets 3 to 5 inches more. So you have more rainfall in Chattanooga. As we move into the fall time frame in Nashville and Chattanooga, again, same temperature that you will feel, but only a little bit more of rain that you get in Chattanooga when compared to Nashville. Now, as we move into winter, that's really where you're going to get the most difference between the two cities as far as weather goes. So in the winter time, Chattanooga is typically around 5 to 6 degrees warmer in the winter. Now, I know that doesn't sound like much, but when it's 35 degrees, 6 degrees hotter or warmer does definitely make a difference for you. And something to take into account is that Nashville is actually way windier when compared to Chattanooga. So if you couple the colder weather with a lot more wind, that will definitely make it feel a lot colder when you compare it to Chattanooga, and is a big difference, especially for people like me that prefer the warmer weather. Also too, with snowfall, both places don't get a lot of snow. Like for example, in Chattanooga, last year, I believe we had flurries once or twice, but didn't get nothing as far as snowfall goes. And Nashville is kind of similar. I think Nashville averages 3.5 or so inches a year, and Chattanooga averages 2.5 to 3 inches. So it's very similar with the snow. We don't get a lot of snow. Every couple years we get a nice snow, which is 4 to 6 inches, and it's awesome because you can kind of go sledding down the hills and stuff like that, but it doesn't get to the point that affects everyday life, and you have snowstorms in both cities. Something that I want to mention that kind of goes along with weather is allergies. According to Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America. They had the top 100 list of the worst allergy cities in the country. Chattanooga came in at 46 and Nashville came in at 66. So they're both top 100, but Chattanooga is clearly worse when it comes to allergies, and I honestly believe it's because there's a lot more nature that surrounds Chattanooga. When you compare it to Nashville, it's a bigger city, there's less nature involved. Both cities, you will definitely need your Claritin and your allergy medication, so something that you should take into account. The next thing I want to discuss is just sunshine. Briefly discuss is that the national average for sunshines or days of sunny days a year, I think it's like 202 or 203. Nashville gets about 205 and Chattanooga gets about 210. So technically we're above average, Nashville and Chattanooga, but it's not a big difference. And you can expect to get a lot of sunshine living in both cities. Now, with severe weather, this is a question I get all the time about tornadoes, right? Is, Chattanooga or Nashville in Tornado Alley? No, it is not, but it's still something that does happen at times. So now if we compare the two counties with Hamilton County, where Chattanooga is located, and Davidson County, where Nashville is located, Davidson County, historically speaking, gets a lot more tornadoes compared to Hamilton County. So I'm going to go ahead and put a chart on the screen for you to view, and it's from 1950 to 2022, so about 72-year span. In Davidson County, they've had 50 tornadoes, whereas Hamilton County, they've had 26 tornadoes. So as you can see from that chart there alone, Hamilton County has had about half the amount of tornadoes that Davidson County has had. Now I'm going to put another chart on the screen, and it kind of shows the average national tornadoes. And if you look here on the screen, you can see that Florida gets a lot more than Tennessee anyways. And this is from 89 to 2019. Tennessee in general just got about 28 tornadoes. I mean, you have Alabama at 50, Georgia at 34, Florida at 60. So when you compare it to many different states, it doesn't get a lot of tornadoes. It's not Tornado Alley, but it's definitely something that can happen and something you need to consider when moving to the area. And now we're going to discuss things to do, and this is where you get the most differences in the cities, in my opinion. So if we start off with Chattanooga, the main appeal to Chattanooga is kind of the nature, the outdoor life, kind of the chill, small city vibe that you get here. And it's kind of contrasted with Nashville, where you have a big city vibe, you have a lot of professional sports, you have a lot of nightlife, and those are kind of the key differences between the two cities. So if we start talking about Chattanooga and all the nature that it has, you have the Cumberland Trail system here that's behind Signal and over by Saudi Daisy area. You have hundreds of miles of trails. You have the Appalachian Mountains that kind of start within this range or this area that you can kind of get to. You have hiking, you have mountain biking, you even have hang gliding, rock climbing. There's so much stuff to do outside, and that's really the main appeal to Chattanooga, with still having, maybe some big city amenities like a bunch of the big box stores like Target and Whole Foods and stuff like that. But it's really designed for people to live more outdoors and to be a lot more active. Now, of course, there's people that live here that don't really care for the outdoors as much, and they still enjoy the area because of the friendliness of the small town city that we get here. We still have semi-pro or minor league teams here that you can go and just catch games with the family or with your buddies, but for the most part, it's a lot smaller city. So now if we talk about Nashville, Nashville is more of the big city amenities. You have a lot more of the luxurious stores. You have an Apple store, for crying out loud, because Chattanooga doesn't have one. We used to have Mac Authority, which was a Apple designated realtor, but they are no longer there anyways. So besides Best Buy, we don't have any Apple stores. But Nashville, you're going to find a lot of the bigger chains or like the more luxurious stores. But you're also going to find a huge nightlife where that lacks big time here in Chattanooga. Chattanooga, you have bars and things that you can hang out and go out to. But in Nashville, is a lot more of the clubbing, the dancing, the partying, nightlife that you can find, of course, because it's a huge, big city. Over there, you also have the pro teams, all the NFL, NHL type of teams that you can attend and get to. So that's really the two big differences that you can find in the city. So one city is more nature, small town vibe. The other city is more big town vibe with sports and shopping and party life that you can find. Something that I want to discuss between the two cities is traffic. Nashville consistently ranks in the top 25 of the worst traffic cities in the country. It's typically anywhere from 22 to 25 in that ranking, so not horrible, but still not very good. So it's a big city, you have a lot of traffic there. Contrast that with Chattanooga. The traffic here is definitely growing compared to when I even started this channel a couple years ago, but it's still not as bad as Nashville. Here, there's still a lot of construction kind of going on, and it's making traffic a lot worse. There's a lot of roads that are expanding to kind of grow with the city, but I would still say that it's not as bad as Nashville. Nashville definitely has worse traffic. So if you don't like to have long commute times or get stuck in traffic, you got to really pick and choose whether it's Nashville or Chattanooga, what area you live in. When we're discussing taxes, a positive about both cities is that Tennessee has no state income tax. Now, if we talk about sales tax, on the other hand, it does have a higher sales tax. It has around 9.25% sales tax on anything you purchase. So yes, we don't have income tax, but you do pay a little bit more as far as the sales tax go. So as you can see, there's a bunch of differences between the two cities. Both are in Tennessee, both have great tax structures, especially if you're a high income earner. But there's a big difference between the big city and the smaller town, the nature, the nightlife, all those differences. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on the number on your screen. I would love to help you guys move to the area. I've helped probably 100 families at this point move to Chattanooga or Tennessee in general, and I would love to help you as well. So until next time, take care and God bless.